So you probably remember a few months ago when refugee accommodation centres were open around the country, Leo Varadkar said nobody has a right to have a veto on who lives in their area. Well, apparently for TDs and for members of the Oireachtas, you can have that. You have a right to object to anything that's built, and it's more valuable than any only Joe. And obviously everybody has a right to object, especially if you live in an area, you have a house, etc, etc. You have a right to say what happens in your area, even if it's just a park bench going across the street from your house. You have a right to say, I don't want that park bench to be there. Because again, at the end of the day, it's your area, it's your house. But it's the fact of the matter, this fella here, Francis Noah Duffy, if you would have said to him a few months ago, I'm not too fond of hundreds of people I don't know. I know nothing about them. I don't know even where they're from. Turning up in the blue in the middle of the night into a place, he would have called you a far right terrorist, etc., etc. And this is what they would have said, and we all know that. And they were said then, what you could go and said nobody should have a veto on who lives in the area. Well, apparently the veto doesn't extend to TDs because he objected to 330 houses. So this is probably for Irish people, as I say. But long story short, this man would get up in the Dáil probably in a few weeks' time and say, oh, there's not enough houses, etc, etc. So he's crying about it because it overlooks his kitchen. So 330 homes could help a good few families. But no, he's like, no, I object. And this is the Green Party for you. And this is just them to object to it. Imagine that. And the best part of it all is this is the House and spokesman for the Green Party. That's the best thing about it all, that he is the House and spokesman for it. And it's insane to see when you really read through the article. It's insane that first of all, because again, I'm sure if I looked up the House of the Oireachtas, the YouTube channel, or anything like that, I would find this man saying 100 times over, we need more houses, we need this, we need that, we need the other. And then when the houses are going to be built, he gives out about them and is not happy because it's in my area. As somebody pointed out in the comments in one of the videos I made a few days ago, excuse me. It's not until it gets to their area, like not in my area. That's the attitude a lot of people have. But especially with TDs, it's okay down the country to put in 1,000 people in Athlone, take for example, that nobody knows even where they're from. Nobody knows who. They probably don't even have passports, for all we know. We don't even know their names, and they're just coming in the middle of the night into Athlone. They want to put 1,000 people to Athlone, and none of them, and all the people have no, people around the area have no say in it. And if you have a say, you're far right, etc, etc. And that's the point I'm making here. So why? And again, Roger Gorman himself, I'm sure I'll find clips. He said the same thing as the Taoiseach at the time, Leo Varadkar, and Simon Howard said it, and Micheál Martin said it, and Sinn Féin said it too. That nobody should have a veto. Mary Lou McDonald said it too. So why does TDs have a veto? Because we all know now. This fellow that's a TD, it's going to have a bigger say than, say, for example, the only Joe that's working a 9 to 5. If he objects to something, they can just overrule him. But obviously, with him being in the Green Party and stuff, to be nudge, nudge, wink, wink, etc, etc. But so this is the Green Party for you. This is all the parties in the door because they say nobody has a right to who lives in their area, etc, etc. So it's very different here. And we should ask the Labour Party too, Vanna Batch, at the time around her house, a few refugees went with tents to camp in the area. She nearly lost the plot. They thought it was the end of the world the way she was going on. But again, it's just because do as we say and not as we do. To be totally honest. But I can bet you a fine dollar it's probably for Irish, because let's be fair, if this was a refugee accommodation, the whole walls would collapse basically. They go mad. Because again, you ask these questions, it's any TDs to have houses beside refugee accommodations, and the simple answer is no. They won't allow it. You think they would allow people, and their big mansions, etc, etc, their big houses, the TDs. You think they would allow 1,000 people, 1,000 men from Timbuktu to come in, and they don't know anything, but they don't even know where they're from, their names even, and they just come in the middle of the night and put them there in the middle of the night on buses, etc, etc. It's happening all the time. And again, it's just very hypocritical in my opinion. And especially because again, I could look up Francis Noah Duffy here, and there's 100 articles saying, oh, we need more houses, we need to build more houses. Again, there's the houses, there's a few houses, probably would have took time obviously, but it's the fact of the matter is that he'd be crying every day of the week saying we need more houses, and this just goes to show you what kind of the Green Party are. You think, because again, at the end of the day, he shouldn't have time with you to look out his kitchen if he's a TD. But it's insane. But again, I wonder does he own the house? Because again, a lot of people who don't own the houses, council houses, to take for example rented accommodation, they don't have a veto. They don't have a right to have an opinion. It's the landlord, whoever owns the building, has the right. So I presume he owns the place, which can't be said for many people around this country. They just have to put up with what's been put beside them. So no, and it's the same with Sinn Féin. Sinn Féin objects to everything nowadays. I don't get it, but sure, look at. But again, it's very hypocritical. To be totally honest, especially being the House and spokesman for the Green Party. It's very hypocritical, and nobody has a veto. Remember, Leo Varadkar said, and the Waterford government said it. Eamon Ryan said it. The whole TDs and the Dáils said it. Apparently, vetoes don't extend to the Green Party. Thank you.